Okay, salut. Hi again. So I'm going to follow up on that previous video on les vacances and continue on the theme of les vacances, the holidays. So in the last video, we looked at traveling by plane. Now we're going to look at traveling by train. Voyager en train. Voyager en train is to travel by train. Prendre le train. Prendre le train, to take the train. Je prendrai le train de Paris à Marseille. I will take the train from Paris to Marseille. Le train de banlieue. Le train de banlieue is it literally stands for the suburban train, so that would be the commuter train. Le train de banlieue est très pratique pour les banlieusards qui doivent se rendre au travail au centre-ville. So the commuter train is very practical for commuters who have to get to work in the city centre. Now that verb there, se rendre, would be to get yourself somewhere. Okay, so le train de banlieue, the commuter train. L'horaire is the timetable. Les horaires, the timetables. It can also mean the schedule. L'horaire de train est disponible sur le site web. So the train timetable or the train schedule is available on the website. Une carte d'abonnement. Une carte d'abonnement is a travel card. Again, une carte is a card. And that word abonnement actually means subscription. So it's a subscription card. So a card you've subscribed to, you use it regularly for travel. So a travel card. Ma carte d'abonnement rend mes voyages en train plus facile. So my travel card makes my trips by train much easier. The verb s'abonner à, that reflects the verb s'abonner à, would be to subscribe to something. And as you can see in the picture, the SNCF is the name of the major train company over in France. And they have loads of different travel cards that you can subscribe to. So une carte d'abonnement is a subscription card, a travel card. Un billet de train. Un billet is obviously a ticket. Un billet de train is a train ticket. If you opt for un billet simple, an aller simple is a one-way ticket. So it's to go one way. Un aller simple. Un aller-retour is a return ticket. So an aller simple, a one-way ticket, an aller-retour, a return ticket. If on the train you ask for a ticket that's for la première classe, that's first class, deuxième classe, second class. So if you're in a very fancy train, you might be able to pay for an up for première classe, first class. Deuxième class is what most of us go with, the second class. Le buffet de la gare is the train station restaurant. You've all probably been to a buffet before, loads of food laid out. Le buffet de la gare, the train station restaurant, if there is one in the train station you go to. La consigne, you might remember that from junior cycle. La consigne is the luggage lockers. It's in train stations in France, and it's like a little room where you can leave your luggage if you're only on a day trip there, if you're only kind of in between, say you had to get the train to Cork, but you had to stop off in Limerick Junction on the way from Dublin and you needed to leave your luggage somewhere for a few hours so that you weren't lugging it around with you. So la consigne. Consigne is where you leave your luggage. On peut laisser ses bagages dans la consigne à la gare. You can leave your luggage in the luggage area, luggage lockers, at the train station. So la consigne, where you leave your luggage, luggage lockers. Le guichet, very important word to know. Le guichet is the ticket desk. Now that can be a ticket machine or the ticket desk. Il faut acheter les billets de train au guichet. You must buy your train tickets at the ticket desk. Une place côté couloir. So you're at the ticket desk and you ask for une place côté couloir, s'il vous plaît, madame. An aisle seat, please. Couloir is the aisle or the corridor. So une place refers to the seat on the train. Côté is beside. So an aisle seat, please. That could be on an airplane as well. Une place côté fenêtre is a window seat. So une place côté couloir, an aisle seat. Une place côté fenêtre, a window seat. And as you can see in the middle picture there, la place du milieu is the middle seat. No one wants that. Les renseignements, very important word to know. Les renseignements is information. Je veux trouver des renseignements sur la ville de Lyon. I want to find out information on the city of Lyon. So les renseignements, information. The verb se renseigner reflects the verb would be to find out information about something. Le tarif réduit is a reduced rate. Anything in France with tarif written on it is the tariff, the charge, the price, the cost. That's why we use the word tariffs, taxes and charges and costs, etc. So un tarif réduit is a reduced rate, a reduced price. Il y a un tarif réduit pour les enfants. There is a reduced rate for children. Le quai at the train station is the quay or the platform. Les passagers doivent attendre au quai numéro 6. The passengers have to wait at platform or quay number 6. Un passager is a passenger. They just don't have the N in that word. Okay, la voie is the railway track. Okay, the railway track or the railway line. La voie, handy little word to know. So, la voie entre Paris et Rouen est fermée à cause d'un accident. So, the railway line or the railway track between Paris and Rouen is closed because of an accident. Composter son billet. That's to stamp or to verify your ticket. I don't take trains in Ireland, to be honest. I'm not sure if we have to do that in Ireland, but you must do that in France. It's important. You must stamp or verify your ticket before you get on the train. So, il faut composter son billet avant de monter le train. De monter le train. So, you must stamp or verify your ticket before getting on the train. Because, like, when the inspector comes on the train randomly to check your tickets, he'll check to see did you stamp your ticket. Because you could be a pure chancer and keep that ticket and use it for another train journey. You know? So, they want to see that you've stamped it in the machine to verify it. Un wagon is a train car or a carriage. Okay, a train carriage or a train car. Un wagon. La gare is obviously the train station. La gare SNCF is also the train station. The SNCF is just the name of the rail company in France, like we would have Iron Road Air here in Ireland. Le tarif, like I said earlier, is the rate, the cost. Le tarif or le prix du billet, so the cost of a ticket. Le tarif d'un billet de train est très cher en 2022 à mon avis. So the cost of a train ticket is very expensive in 2022 in my opinion. Okay, what have we next? So that's travelling by train. This is voyager en bateau, travelling by boat. So there isn't much vocab now in this. Le port, the port. La gare maritime is the ferry port or the ferry terminal. So la gare on its own is the train station, but la gare, anything maritime is to do with the sea. So the sea station. So we call that the ferry port or the ferry terminal. Un bateau, a boat. Un ferry, a ferry. Avoir le mal de mer is to be seasick. So it's to have badness in the sea. Okay, so you're seasick. Débarquer is to disembark. So to get off of the boat. Il faut débarquer à 17h. We must get off at 5 o'clock. So to leave the ship, to leave the boat, to disembark. Débarquer. Whereas embarquer is to get on, to board. Think of in the airport vocab we had la carte or une carte d'embarquement. That was your boarding pass. Embarquement. So embarquer, to board. Il faut embarquer à 7h du matin. We must get on board. We must board the ship at 7 o'clock in the morning. La traversée is the crossing. So you know the verb traverser is to cross. So la traversée en ferry était terrible. The ferry crossing was terrible. Une croisière is a cruise. Je rêve de faire une croisière en Italie. I dream of doing a cruise in Italy. Une vague is a wave. Les vagues sont énormes. The waves are enormous. Une cabine, a cabin. J'ai réservé une cabine sur le ferry pour l'Angleterre. I booked a cabin on the ferry for England. Une mer agitée is like an agitated sea, so a rough sea. La mer était très agitée pendant notre traversée à Rosselair. The sea was very rough sea conditions during our crossing to Rosselair. Okay, what have we next? Autres moyens de voyager, other means of travelling, other ways of travelling. Prendre la voiture, of course you can take the car. On va prendre la voiture pour se rendre en Angleterre. So we can take the car to go to England, to bring ourselves to England. Louer une voiture, to rent a car. Louer un vélo, to rent a bike. Louer une caravane, to rent a caravan. Or louer un camping-car, to rent a camper van. So louer, to rent. Now you're well familiar with the verbs conduire and rouler, to drive. So conduire is irregular, rouler is regular. Circuler is to drive around. So think to circulate is to move around. So circuler, to move around or to drive around. J'adore circuler en voiture à Paris. pour voir les monuments célèbres. So I love to move around or to drive around by car in Paris to see the famous monuments. Okay? Se déplacer is another lovely verb. It's how you get around. So to get around, how you place yourself around the city or around the area. On peut facilement se déplacer à Paris avec le métro. So we can easily get around Paris by metro. So the previous verb, circuler, is more driving around, whereas se déplacer is to get around, to move around. That could be in any method of transport. Okay, les embouteillages, you're familiar with that word. Les embouteillages are traffic jams. Think bottlenecks. Les bouchons are hold-ups. So hold-ups, traffic jams as well. So look, they both mean traffic jams. Les embouteillages, les bouchons. La circulation refers to traffic. So remember, just a while ago, we had the verb circuler, to drive around. La circulation refers to traffic. That could be freely flowing traffic or traffic starting to build up. La location. Now be careful with this. This does not mean the location of something. La location means rental. Rental. La location de voiture à l'aéroport se trouve à côté de l'entrée. So the car rental at the airport is located beside the entrance. Un GPS is GPS, so your sat-nav. Le vélo en libre service is a bikes to use, basically. Free service, free bikes to use. Vélib is what they refer to in France. Now, I know that it says libre service. It kind of means free to use, but a lot of them have a charge on them. You might use them in Dublin yourself before, or maybe Cork might have them as well. L'autocar, ou le car, is the coach, so think luxury travel. L'autocar, le car, the coach. La gare routière is the bus station then. So think la route is the road, so la gare routière, the bus station. And avoir le mal des transports is to have travel sickness. J'ai toujours le mal des transports, c'est un vrai cauchemar. I'm always travel sick. It's a real nightmare. Okay, so I think that's enough now for that video. I'll go on to accommodation in the next one.